Hey y'all, hey, I'm Ashley, and this is For Dizzy Birds, where life is busy and budgeting is fun. On this channel, we use a zero based budget, cash stuffing, and savings challenges to actually make saving fun. We have big goals to get out of debt, to get ahead on our bills, and to totally transform how we think about money. So, if you're ready to take control of your finances one paycheck at a time and maybe have a little fun doing it, you're in the right place. So, grab your favorite drink, favorite snack, and let's get to it. Today is a very exciting video. We are going to do our very first monthly roundup, so September roundup, to find out how much we saved for the entire month and most importantly, how big of a debt payment we're going to be able to make today. So let's get to it. Hey, y'all. Welcome back, or welcome if you're new. So glad to have you here. This is an exciting video for me because this is the very first time I've really ever done what I would call sort of a debt confession or a debt check-in. I've always done the monthly like roundups or the monthly reallocations where we counted up how much we did save for the whole month, but we've never really talked about how we're going to take care of the debt. And this is our primary goal this year. So this will be my first time, so bear with me because I'm sure we're going to learn ways to do this the best way, but this is my plan so far. So we have our minis and tinies that we save in every week. We have our month ahead binder, and then we have our emergency fund. But the most important thing in my mind is the debt binder, which we are saving in, have been saving in every week, and hopefully we'll continue to do that. And what's different about the debt binder is that while we have challenges going in there, if we don't complete it at the end of the month, we are going to go ahead and pull the money and add it up and go ahead and make that debt payment. Now, if we're not done with the challenge in that binder, we will continue working on that challenge in the next month. So, the best way I could think to keep track of the savings for each month and for challenges, especially when we're taking money out before we're done, is to keep a tracker like this. So, we're going to use this tracker here to write down everything that we saved, whether it's a mini or a tiny or part of the debt binder, so that we can keep track of our overall savings as a whole as we go on throughout the year. So that's the plan. We'll see how it goes. I think it makes most sense first to pull out our Save to Sync folder. In our Save to Sync folder, we have all of the minis and tinies and any standalone challenges that get completed for all of September. So we had 4 weeks of savings, we had 4 weeks of minis and tinies. And if you've been watching my minis and tinies, you'll know that these are already assigned to either a sinking fund or one of those primary saving goals. So we will check each one, we'll write each one down, so we'll have an individual track of each one we save, but we'll also be able to put a total dollar amount towards those goals. So we'll just get to it. Hope you guys are having a good week. This is a completely bonus video for me. So I don't even know what day it's going to go up. I am filming over the weekend, as I tend to do. So probably Tuesday. So happy Tuesday or whatever day it is that you're getting to see this. Hope it's going well for you. All right, so up first we have one of our tinies that we finished from Bookish Mama Budgets. It was a total of $16 and it was allocated to Christmas. So we're going to go ahead and put this here. We'll call this Celebrate Xmas. And the total amount saved for this one is $16. So we're going to start by just adding it up here, the total amount of everything minis and tinies. $16 there. And since it goes to Christmas, this money is actually going to get allocated to that Christmas binder, and we will actually play that today. So we will take care of that. So I'm going to set that back there with the Christmas challenge. Let's see, let's move this all a little closer so that we don't lose track of what goes where. All right. Up next from Becca Budgets, we have a mini that we completed, and it was allocated to debt. So we have cat debt, and it is $30. So that's exciting. That was a big one. So we'll put the debt ones here in the front. Okay, up next from this was a collab, Better Cut Budgets, Lil's World and Shades Budgets. It was $24. Ooh, to month ahead. So we'll call him Snail month ahead. And we will go ahead and put that in the month ahead binder today as well. So kind of the fun part of the challenge, or fun part of the video. Adding that in, we'll put that in its own slot. Okay, up next we have one from Budget with Mama Bear for $18, and this was going to Little Birds. All right, so when we have one that is a what I would call just a normal sinking fund, this means that I'm going to go ahead and move this over into my bucket that I have in my bank account for Little Birds. So they're getting $18. Usually use that for like school expenses, lunch accounts, little things that come up for school. All right, this one came from Our Beautiful Budgets. It's for emergency fund, and it's $16. So that's another one that we're going to go ahead and add today. So we will definitely add that in today. So we will get to see the benefits from our hard work right away. All right, so we'll set that there. Okay, up next, this one is another one that is going to just a traditional sinking fund. This is from Build It Big Budget, $16, and it was for dining out. So we have dining out, another put pasta, dining out. All right, plus 16. We will put those back there with Little Birds back here. Okay. Up next, this one is self-care, $20, Chatty Cathy Budgets. So we'll say self-care and self-care. Oh, I forgot to put the 16 there. And this is 20. All right, plus 20. I will add it up again just to make sure. And so this one's another sinking fund that we're just going to put it in the right spot. So, okay. Ooh, we have another one. This one was from our Chinese binder. This is for month ahead. So fall, month ahead. So month ahead now has 2 additional, and we will add that in. So that's fantastic. And it was $18. $18 for a month ahead. I hope you guys can see that okay. Okay. All right. So where was our month ahead? That was here. Yep, month ahead is right here. Maybe I'll make some dashboards for this for next time. And I remember this one. This one is from My Modern Homestead. It was $16. It comes from our tiny binder, and it goes to debt. So debt has another one, and it was a total of 16. So we will add that here up with Becca. All right, this one is another sinking fund. This one is grocery buffer, if I remember correctly. Yes. We'll call this one apples. Grocery. All right, and it was a total of $12, so we will just add that to our grocery buffer bucket in our bank account. Okay, and then up last from the Save to Sink folder, this one comes from Lil's World. It's $10, and it looks like it goes to self-care. So candles, self-care, $10. We will add that back here in our sinking fund for self-care. Okay, So I'm going to say that's 184 so far in completed minis and tinies. So let's add this up just to make sure I got this right. Okay, so I added something wrong. Let's go again. 16 plus 30 plus 24 plus 18 plus 16 plus 16 plus 20 plus 18 plus 16 plus 12 plus 10. 196. See, I must have missed one. I must have not put one on the calculator. Did you guys see it? So that's pretty exciting. Now, we finished or saved a total of $196 in minis and tinies for the month of September, some of which are going to be allocated to the bigger savings goals and some that are just going into sinking funds. So let's go ahead and take care of, before we move on to the debt binder, because we will pull this back out and we are going to add up what we have completed for each of the savings for the debt binder as well. But let's go ahead and make sure that we allocate out what we are supposed to have for each of the additional goals. So I see that we have 2 here for debt. Let's get, again, like this is the first time we're doing this. So we have debt here for $30 and $16. I wanted that to be a highlighter and it's really not, but we'll make it work for now. So we should have a total of 30 plus 16, an additional $46 going to debt. So let's double check that here. That's these 2 challenges. $46. That's not too shabby from minis and tinies. Okay. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. Count correctly. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 46. Okay, it's better when you count correctly. Okay, so this is going to debt. I'm going to use these 2 challenges here and mark that with a paper clip, because we will get that binder out here in just a second. All right, so next up is Christmas. We only got 1 completed for Christmas, so we have that $16 here. We'll double check to make sure. 5, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. So $16 for Christmas. That is correct. And we will put that in our Christmas savings book here in just a bit. And then emergency fund is getting an additional, let's make sure we only have 1. So there's Christmas. Emergency fund only had 1 completed as well, and it's $16. Make sure that we have the right amount. 5, 10, 15, and 16. So we are good there. So we will add that one in. And then the last one that falls into this type of category is month ahead. Now, month ahead, I think we completed 2. So let's look at that. Month ahead had 24 plus 18. So we should have $43 between these 2 challenges. Let's see if we did it right. Get it all organized here. This is going to be a nice boost for our month ahead binder. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 37, 39, 40, 41, 42. Says 43. Did I count wrong again? Month ahead. 24 plus 18 is 42. It's right. So 42 it is for month ahead going into that binder. All right. Now on the rest of these, I will be just doing that off camera. I will take that amount and I will go and I will put that into the appropriate spot in my bank account. And I would just move that from my savings challenge bucket to the appropriate sinking fund. But these are really important because we are going to go ahead and actually do the work to put them where they belong. So let's start with emergency fund. That one is $16. And that's actually in this binder. So let me get that out. All right. So if we have $16, we don't have an even amount to go into the $10 per, but we can color in one more and then save those other 6 to go in the front. That's what we're going to do. So we'll have $10 to add, and we'll get to color in one little guy here. Let's see, what color should he be? He's going to be lime green. So we're going to go ahead and add $10 more here. And we'll just have to save a few extra bucks to make that $6. So we'll find $4 somewhere else to add in next week. Okay, let me get our, just so you can see that it's going where it's supposed to go. We're going to go back to our emergency fund, which is back here, and add that $10 in. And we are now $10 better off, and we're going to add the $6 in the front there so that we will remember that we need to make that an even 10 at some point in the near future, probably next week. And this one will be taken care of. All right, up next is our Christmas. So you will remember that we have our Christmas book that we've been working in here, and we have some additional Christmas savings. Now we can just put the money in this and save it here for the next time we play, so that we'll have 1, 5, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. Add that in right there. So we'll have that extra $16 for when we play the next time. All right, that one's taken care of. And that just leaves our debt binder. All right, in our debt binder, we have lots of options for how we can handle this additional money. But I'd say let's just go ahead and take a look and see what we have available that would be easy to take care of. Okay. Oh, I forgot. We still have our month ahead. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, and 46. So let's see. What should we do? Because after this, we've got to count up our debt binder, and that will be it for September. And we do have our 2025. We could do that. That might be the easiest way. Maybe not as much fun, but it certainly allows us to put a big amount. 46, is that what it was? Should have wrote that down. 45. I'm going to trade this in for 2 20s so we don't have to keep counting because my short-term memory won't allow me. So if we have $46, why don't we do that? Why don't we go ahead and put it in the 2025, since that is such a big goal for us to finish. I'll get that out really quick, and that'll be the easiest way to take care of that. All right, so 2025, $46. We can choose any number. Let's do it that way. All right. Do we have any 40s? Nope, it looks like the highest number is a 30. So let's find a 30. There's one here on this summer one. So we'll take 30 out there. $30, and that leaves us with 16. And you know what? There's a 16 right here, so why don't we just go ahead and do that? There we go, and we're just one step closer to getting that 2025 done. And we can throw this in with the rest of the money that is sitting in that challenge before we count it here in just a minute. Exciting. All right. And I can't believe I forgot this, because this is also very exciting. I'm very excited to put a little bit extra towards our month ahead. It's such a slow and small save each week that it's nice to have these little boosts. So again, this is where I would put this extra savings if I wasn't ready to go ahead and put the money where it goes. But we have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 37, 39, 40, 41, and 42. Can you all help me remember that? I'm going to write it down. $42. We have $42. All right. So how this works when we're doing the boost is we would put it towards the very first envelope that has the lowest amount due, because we're trying to get it fully funded. So I don't know that we will quite get there, but we will see. So far in this home security, we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. All right. So if we have to have 60 minus 12, that means we need 48. But gosh, look how close we will be. Look how close. So this says we only need 48 to fully fund this, and we're going to be able to put 42 in today. Okay, so 42 divided by 3 is 14 icons. So we can color those in really quick and be done with that. So we'll do, oh, that's not the right color. Can't do it. Can't do it, guys. Gotta have the right color. That'll drive me crazy. Here it is. Found it. All right. 1. All right. So that's 14 icons. 14 times 3 means we should have put 42 in. And then we have 4 times 4 is 16, 17, 18. 18 times 3 means we should have $54 in this envelope all together. And we are going to condense it down. Most definitely, because we are so close. All right, so let's see if we have our $54. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 37, 39, 41, 43, 45, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, and 54. So we did that absolutely right. So let's take this 4 and let's trade this in for a 50. Condense that right on down. $54, and we are almost fully funded for home security, which means it looks like if everything goes as planned, we will have 2 more weeks and then we'll be fully funded on this, and then we'll get to add a little extra to lawn care. So that little boost helped us get just that much closer to fully funding this. And I've got some fully funded slips just ready to go. All right, so with that, we have taken care of all the things that needed to be put into those higher goals. And now for the main event, which is to count our amount we have saved for debt. All right, I'm going to move these just a little bit off camera there. And we're going to get our sheet back out that's telling us what we're going to track. That way, if we haven't completed a challenge, let's see, get it out here. We will keep track of what we save each month in that challenge. And it's particularly important for 2025, I feel like. I want to know how much we save each week, or each month, even though we're not going to be done with it. Okay, so up first is spellboard, and actually that one's going to be a little bit challenging, so we'll do that one last. Okay, so then we will start with apocalypse. We'll call this one apocalypse. Not me having to look to see how you spell that. Apocalypse, and that's going to debt. Let's see how much we saved for schoolyard apocalypse. We'll have to get it organized here. And I will condense all this down before we put it in the tray, because this is all going to one main payment, so we don't need to worry about having different denominations. Okay, so in schoolyard apocalypse for the month of September, 20, 30, 40, 45, 50, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, and 61. Let's just double check that. $61 for schoolyard apocalypse, and we are actually going to be pulling this one And next week, when we do debt, if we have a debt payment or a debt amount to play with, we will be trading that out because we have played that 4 times and it's time to bring on something new. All right, up next is the spooky budgets, the cards. Called these spooky cards. Also for debt. Everything in here is going to go to debt. Let's see how much, if we need to organize it here first. All right. Okay. 20, 40, 60, 80, 90, 95, 96, 97, 98. They're very sticky for some reason today. 20, 40, 60, 80, 90, 95, 96, 97, 98. $98 so far. We are not done with that set. So we definitely have some more to go on that one, but we will keep track of how much we've saved there. And we're going to pull these out for this month and set them aside because I definitely will be reusing those cards. I love those cards. You'll probably see them every year. Or maybe if we end up keeping the spooky theme for death throughout the year, it's just kind of an idea I'm kicking around, we might use them at any time of the year. Okay, so my tarot cards, the ones I created for myself, let's see if we organize these up here. See how much we've saved ourselves so far. All right, 20, 40, 60, 70, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, and 85. $85. You know, I don't know what I'm doing over here. I'm not organizing my life, that's for sure. We need to keep these denominations separate so I can trade them in. For sure. Trying to get my life organized. But it's the first time running this video and I don't know. It's just going to be a little bit bumpy till we get the hang of things. Hey, it's exciting. It is exciting. All right. So we're done with the tarot card and we still have some more of those. So we will continue that on into October. All right, up next is Saving with Friends. Now we did complete one challenge from Hey Kay, and then we have another one that we are still working on, so we will put that one back in here, but we did go ahead and pull the money for the one we're still working on. Okay, so let's see what we saved for Hey Kay. So far, we have one completed for $60. We'll call this one Hey K1. So we know that one's completed, 20, 40, and 60. And then for Hey K2, her Beetlejuice one, we have saved so far $25. So we are getting close on that second one, and we are done with that. All right, Saving with Friends is now have only that one. Okay, and then for my challenge, we completed our Crazy Bat and one of our digital downloads, The Crow. So both of these are completed. And let's see, the Crazy Bat was 75. Wow, this number is going to be a good save, guys. I'm getting very excited. And 40, 60, 70, and 5. So there's our 75 for that one. And then we should have 30 left here for our Crow. $30 for that one. There we go. And we've got both of those. All right. And then that leaves our 2025 in 2025. And then, of course, Spellbound, which we will not skip because I think there's quite a bit in there. So 2025 obviously is an ongoing challenge because we have not saved $2,025 in 1 month. So we're going to keep it going as well because we are bound and determined to actually finish it. It is now a personal quest to finish it, especially since I am very excited to also download her 2026 version because I want to save in it. I just like that style of challenge. So let's see how much we have saved for 2020 with 2025 so far. Go ahead and write this down. 2025 debt. So let's see. What do you guys think the amount is? All right, we have 100, 200, 250, 270, 290, 310, 320, 330, 340, 45, 350, 55, 360, 361, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Was that 369? You know me, I'm not going to trust myself, especially when that darn 50's in there. All right, so we know that's 200. Let's hold that 50 for a second. 20, 40, 60, 70, 80, 90, 95. There's another 100, so that's 300. 50, 55, 60, 61, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Y'all, that was 369. 369 for 2025. That's a huge amount, but nowhere near 2025. So we've got a ways to go. That one will be sticking around for a bit, and that is okay. We are excited for it. So let me put all this away. Now comes the fun. We get to go pull out that Spellbound box challenge and pull all the money from it and make sure that we are keeping track of what we have saved so far there. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited to add those numbers up. All right, so here's Spellbound. You guys with me? You still hanging in there? This is exciting to you as it is to me. Alrighty, so we have a couple of, I'm going to use the calculator, I think, to help me here. All right, so we have different categories of saving here. This is up in the beginning where we kept our bonus. And we have 10, 20, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. 31, I'm going to set it there just in case I have to re-add. I don't trust myself. All right, so the first section, make sure this is all organized appropriately. All right, 10, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Okay. All righty. Organize it a little bit. I am so excited to make a big debt payment. And we will talk a little bit before we end the video about what my plan is for that. But I will kind of give you some insight into where we are currently so that we can watch the growth. 5, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. All right. We've got consumer credit is what we're focusing on right now. It's +7. So, credit cards. Some of those Affirm, pay in fours, which are just the worst, by the way. We're never going to do those again. They're just the worst. 5, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So we're focusing on paying off the smaller stuff first in the debt snowball style. Okay, +2. And so I spent some time thinking about and lining it all out based on the smallest to largest, which is kind of the way you do a debt snowball. And so the most we can pay off, at a time, the better. And then that amount you would normally put towards, and this is $12. That amount you would normally put towards that payment every month will then go into your debt snowball. So after this month, whatever we pay towards that takes care of our debt snowball will help it grow the next month. So we should see, okay, nothing there. Okay, so I think we have everything out of that. Of course, we will try to wrap that up next month. But if we did this right, it looks like it's $123. I'm going to fast forward and organize. All right. So, got all of that counted up. 123 is what we have saved so far for Spellbound. Like I said, I think we will try to wrap that one up next month. Those box challenges are always big savers. All right, so are we ready to add up all the numbers from the debt binder? All right, and we know we already added that extra amount that we had from the mini savings. So everything for September is already in here. 61 plus 98 plus 85 plus 60 plus 25 plus 75 plus 30 plus 369, huge one, 123 equals 926. 926, which actually lines out to be exactly right. Can you believe that? We have almost saved $1,000 for the month of October, or for the month of September, towards our debt. That is amazing. So when we started the debt snowball, our goal was to have $150 every month, no matter what, to put towards our debt snowball, which we will continue to do. But as we take this $926, again, keep in mind that that amount is so large because of my annual bonus and the amount I allocated towards debt. Not going to be an average, probably, unless I just, manage something miraculous. But this $926 then will then go to debt today. I will get off of this video and go and make those payments. And the amount that I would have normally been paying towards minimum payments for those cards or whatever debt I'm paying off will then go into my monthly debt, or debt snowball. So I won't have free money laying around. That money, we would have normally had to pay it towards a minimum payment, and will now go into our debt snowball. So let's talk about what my plan is for that. Kind of share with you what I actually am doing this month. And again, this is the first time I've shared any insight into the actual debt. I can tell you this is way too small for you to see anything of real value, but this is a representation of our debt snowball plan. So each one of these columns represents a consumer credit line. So a credit card, a firm is in here. Any of those little pay in fours are in here, and most of them are little tiny, really kind of small things, store cards, things that somebody convinced me to open to save, some percentage at the time. And I thought, oh, sure, I'll just pay that off because I was going to buy this stuff anyways. But maybe you relate, I didn't, right? And so I ended up with minimum payments on things that really aren't worth it and aren't bringing any benefit at all. So we are working towards paying off all of this consumer debt, which currently, as of the start of my plan, was $30,219. That's not a confession for y'all. Now, that does not count our mortgage, our car payments, our student loans, anything that are bigger on the bigger end. This is just consumer debt that we have gotten into against our better judgment. So here we are. We are trying to pay this stuff off as quickly as possible. And with the money that we have for September's debt payoff, we are going to take care of at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these smaller cards and get them down to zero balance. And then whatever my minimum payment for that card would have been is going to get added to my debt snowball. So if we started with $150 debt snowball, after I pay off these 4 cards, my debt snowball will now be $278 a month because all of those minimum payments are added in. So it's like I never paid it off. I'm still spending that money on debt and just rolling it over to the next one. So we will split that between those 5 cards and a few firm charges that we still have sitting around. And like I said, our next snowball amount starting in October will be $278. Now, we'll at the very minimum be able to put $278 towards debt. Hopefully, with our budgeting and with the way paychecks line out, we'll be able to add extra to our savings for debt. And then, of course, we'll continue doing minis and tinies to help give a little boost to all of those things. Okay, so there you have it, y'all. Our debt roundup, our September roundup, is $926 towards debt going to a payment or multiple payments today. Ultimately, what did we save? Okay, let's look here. So we need to subtract out those two debt pieces because we've also figured them in here. So 30 plus 16 means whatever this number is. These two numbers we need to subtract out 46. It makes sense in my head. Okay, so 196 plus minis and tinies plus 926 for the debt binder minus 46 because we're not counting that twice. That means our total amount saved for the month of September dun, 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 was $1,076. Again, remember, big part of this is because I had a monthly or an annual bonus. This will not be the norm. So we are going to take advantage of it while we have it. We're going to be grateful for it, and we're going to work as hard as we possibly can to get a high number next month as well. How many challenges did we complete? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then 12. We finished this one. And this one 13. And this one 14. And this one 15. So we completed 15 savings challenges for the month of September totally. And our total saved was 1,076, which we are very, very happy and grateful for. All right, y'all. Thanks for hanging in there. I know this was kind of a long one, but hopefully you were looking forward to it almost as much as I was. I can't wait to see what we accomplish in October. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing. I'm always going to ask. We're trying to grow our channel, and I am absolutely trying to get to 400 subscribers by the end of September, and I will have a freebie ready to go. If you haven't checked out my Ko-fi or my Etsy shop, go check those out. I do have 2 new memberships in my Ko-fi shop that you can choose to become a part of and help support 4 Dizzy Birds. That will wrap it for this week, and I will see you when we are ready to budget for our first week of October. Until then, y'all have a great rest of your week, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.